Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Was it Happy Tuesday? Happy Tuesday to you guys. Happy Tuesday. We'll get started here in just a few minutes. Not that we're going to have like 1,000 million people in here to begin with, but we'll at least wait till the first beautiful soul arrives. I see. Thursday. Yep, we'll start here in about a half a second or two. Again, it's not really, there's nothing super exciting other than the fact that the market has reset the 50 SMA, so now we're kind of back to the decision game of what to do. So pretty much the story, as it always is the market now has to decide what it wants to do, which would basically be remain in a neutral to bearish state or go back to basically a long bias market. So in order for that to happen, the market will pretty much just have to get back over $688. Once that happens, then the market's back on the good side. Yeah, that'll work. So let's just do this. So yeah, that's in a nutshell how the market's set up. Again, you have one simple level, $688. If we're below that, market's in a neutral to bearish state. If we're above, market is more on the long side or more bullish, if you will. So that's pretty much what we're waiting for. Well, not waiting for. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But yeah, I'll go back long stock market once it makes sense to go long, which would be back over $688. Excuse me. Yeah, right now the VIX is positive, so it's really not the best. I don't know, really. We'll just have to see what comes, I guess. Now, obviously, for the one person watching, you can just know that whenever the market is below the 50 SMA like it is today, the market obviously has, two options. It can either go down or it can go up. But yeah, so right now the long target for the market's going to be back to $668.16. Yeah. I know it can get a little boring in our stream because there isn't. Once you have one system down and it's all there is, it's not a ton to talk about. Again, it's really just a repeat of the same thing over and over. Yeah, so we'll just see how things go, people. We're going to see how today will go. So let me check the 1 hour. That's good. Yeah, pretty much we're just at the point of the market where we're just waiting for the stock market to go back above the 30-minute trend. That way you can go back to a long bias market. That's pretty much all we're doing. If you want to short, feel free. You can try to. Your stop out would just need to be over 668 and 11 cents or so. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So far, all the penny stocks this morning kind of look like garbage. Don't really care for them. EKSO is moving okay, but super far away from the stuff we would like. Good morning, two people. Yep. Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, I guess I don't really have a whole lot to say. Again, it's pretty straightforward. Market's just probably gonna try to. I mean, yeah, this is. You know what? I'm just gonna draw on this screen because that'll just be the easiest, I guess. So it's bullish above and bearish below. Yeah, so the main price point I and you and pretty much everyone and their mom is focused on is $668.11. So pretty much that's going to be the target back up, and then that's going to be the shift point for the market back to bullish. So that's really what we're waiting on. And when I say waiting on, it's just that's what's going to happen, essentially. So when we say waiting on, it's really markets can only do one thing before they go back into an uptrend, which would be they have to go from the downtrend back to an uptrend. So right now we're on the negative side. So in order to go back to an uptrend, we'd have to go up, then break the price of 668.11, and then reestablish an uptrend. So we already know that anytime the market wants to go back into an uptrend, it's going to have to go to the 50 SMA in the first place. So that's the case with every single downtrend to uptrend reversal, if you will. So it's not if it's guaranteed going to happen. So that's why targeting back to the 50 SMA is always a logical trade idea or a logical thing to do, because it has to happen every single time before the market can go into an uptrend. So yeah. So right now we are we're not long biased the market, we're on neutral to bearish. So for what it's worth, that's how the market is currently positioned. We will go back long bias when the market reestablishes over the 50 SMA. All right, so yeah, we just gotta let that happen. When's that gonna happen? Don't know. Will it happen? Yes. When? Whenever the market wants. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling, hanging out. Again, like we mentioned the past couple days or so, and I wasn't on yesterday. Again, I'm in the process of moving right now, so just loading stuff up, packing and moving. So my the hours this week on stream might be a little different just because of that, and next week until I get internet set up at my new place, etc. But yeah, so you guys know that we were swing long, watching the markets long, because obviously market was in a buy signal, right? And now the market has reset to the 50 SMA, and now it's below the 50 SMA. So until the market reestablishes over, we're not back on a long. So really we're kind of in this spot where the market has reset the moving average, and now the computers and traders like myself and whatnot are going, okay, well, what's next? Well, what's next is either the market goes into a sell move or the market goes back into a long, right? So you get to be the one that picks whatever side of that playing field you want to play on, essentially. I'm sure you guys probably saw silver went into like $70 plus 2 standard deviation and then pulled back. Nothing to really say other than gold and silver, other than just watching it go up as high as it can possibly go up before the market tops out, which, if you ask me, we're getting really close to a top on silver just because we're coming into plus 2, plus 3 standard deviation areas, so it's more likely to top out than not. Tesla call paid off as expected. Very nice. Good stuff. Yep, so I mean, yeah, same stuff every day, just Is the market going to go up or is it going to go down? It's not too much else we can do here. So let's bring up the volatility index here. So on Friday, or was that yesterday? So Monday, yesterday, VIX gaps up, then pulls back to support, right? So remember, volatility index and the S&P 500 both use the same 30-minute open, high, low, close 50 SMA system. So obviously yesterday, with the SPY going down, market going down, volatility index goes up. You can see it does what? It gaps up over the 50 SMA, which is right there. So let's go take a peek pre-market. All right, so if you think about it, what was yesterday? Yesterday, the volatility index gapped up and then pulled back until it hit what? The 50 SMA, which is that yellow line, and then it bounces. All right, so that tells us that currently volatility is on the long side, right? So volatility is positive, etc. When the volatility is positive, it's more likely you'd see the markets pull back. So if we look at the market over the past day or two, right, did it in fact pull back? Which, I mean, kind of, right? So if you look at the market past couple days, so we had the big gap down, right? So the big overnight gap down, that's what created the VIX to gap up, etc. So the volatility index and fear is on the positive side of the market, right? If we look at the VIX, see the VIX over the past 2 days has a big gap up over that yellow line. That means fear is increasing. Therefore, markets are normally pulling back. You'll see over the past day and a half, we had a big gap down, market slid, etc., right? So markets are moving a little bit more in a fearful manner because the VIX and the fear is broken out. All right. Just because fear is broken out doesn't mean the market has to go down for 3 days. It could go down for an hour and a half. It could go down for as long as 2 hours. But again, just because fear is up doesn't mean markets stay fearful. All right. So, anyways, pretty much right now we have an elevated VIX and we have a market that is now transitioning below its 50 SMA, which pretty much just means that the market is not ready to be extremely long bias in this exact moment. Because again, fear is elevated now and the market is no longer trend positive over the 50 SMA. So for me, it's about letting the market get back to swing long and then just buying long. All right. So that's pretty much what we'll be waiting for. Right now, you could be neutral or you could be trading bearish, whatever you want to do. But any long bias trade you'd be doing right now in the market would be a counter long trend or a counter long trade because the market is on the negative side. So again, it'd be pretty simple, just like we did with the Santa Claus rally, right? When we told everyone to get long the market on this day, like right there. All right, that's the last time we said buy long the market. All right, so that same sort of idea is what we're looking at now. It's when does the market get back over the 50 SMA, which is that red line. Then we could start going back long. So that's all we're doing as the market, computers, algorithms, we're all just sitting back waiting for the next buy algorithm or buying program put onto the market. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Don't really know what's going on in the news, nor do I really care. It doesn't actually matter too much. As far as the market goes, markets are just going to go up and down based off buy and sell programs anyways. So yeah, don't really know what's going on, what everyone's saying, but we're here for it. See, that's the beautiful thing is that today I woke up and haven't even needed to look at the news. Now, if I were to look at the news, I'm assuming it's going to be something like Wall Street might be getting shaky and something. And we might even see some bearish news now because fear is elevated, markets down. whenever the market starts to transition below the 50 SMA, we just know things can get bearish, so the market starts to kind of sing that tune. Bitcoin's really not doing anything you need to worry about. It's really just doing everything we said it would probably do, which is, again, it's not going to break down. Bitcoin's not breaking down below that previous like dip without bouncing first, most likely. Like this previous dip here, it's far more unlikely for Bitcoin to just go below it than it would be for it to do something like that and then like bounce, right? So just in general, we're just not looking for Bitcoin to extend its sell-off in an easy manner, right? Normally needs consolidation, hesitation, etc. before its secondary leg to the downside, which is pretty much where we're at right now. Bitcoin's, yeah, you're just not looking for Bitcoin to break down. You just wait for it to bounce. It's going to reset a lower high, and then we'll look for it to go down later. Again, gold and silver all screaming to the upside. Should be locking in along the way up, in my opinion. I hope silver goes to $16 million an ounce, but it's probably not. It's probably going to go up top here at +3 standard deviation, go through a little bit of a sell-off period. At least I hope it doesn't, but you know, what you gonna do? All right, so yeah, we'll probably end it there for the pre-market spieling breakdown. Again, everything today is pretty straightforward. We have 3 people watching the stream, which basically means, you know what I mean, we're basically just sitting here in our office, just speaking at computers to like 3 people. So, everyone, don't freak out. Again, market's on the neutral to bearish state. It's all you got to know. When it's time to go back long, we'll let you know on this stream, or the system will let you know. But yeah, that's pretty much that. I will be right back. Oh, what? It is going to just be an absolutely miraculous day here in the markets, folks. Can just feel it, you know? Can feel it in my bones. Oh boy. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, so I put, cute little two arrows on the screen pointing to the target level, etc. $9.30, markets open, yay. Now remember guys, the first target, I don't say first target, but our target long is 66811, literally where the two arrows are pointing to. That's your counter trend long target. And then we will go back to more of a trend long once we establish over that level. That's always kind of the funny thing about using this particular system is it's below that level's bearish, above it's bullish, right? But that can also be used as a counter target as well at the same time. Hang on. Man. I know, super fun stream, super fun. Super fun. Really? No, that doesn't seem right. 68879. Guess it is though. 66821. So I'm gonna be up there to 68879. So it's really understand. And actually the trading view and the thinkorswim simple moving averages are different, so it's actually both of these if we're to use both the SMA levels. So essentially for the market to get back to positive, we will need to be essentially above up here. All right, so yeah, market's just on the neutral to bearish state. When it makes sense to go back long bias, we will. It's just not right now. So yeah, you can do whatever you want. You know, the safest thing to do would be to just do nothing, right? You would just be neutral. You wouldn't even be trying to be bearish. You would just be neutral, waiting for the next buy, which is what I'm currently doing. I'm not putting on a short or anything like that. I'm just hanging out, waiting for the next buy move. Oh yeah, by the way, I have no position on. I'm not long biased the market right now. I am not long UPRO. Took that off before Monday or something like that, but I think I closed my last bit of UPRO on Friday. But anyways, yeah, so I am not long the market currently. I don't have a long position on here. Wait, is it Tuesday? It is Tuesday. Oh, that's right. Gotta go to M1. Gotta throw a little buy in on M1, eh? M1.com. understand. Where did it go? Well, that is quite interesting. Our stream is absolutely booming this morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and squirrels. Again, it's really simple. We're just waiting for the market to go back to positive before we're looking for a long. Interesting. Yep, sounds about right. Yeah, I was looking at the penny stock AEHL here just a second ago, trying to add a long onto it in my Roth IRA, but my broker said I can't buy it unless I call them, and sure enough, then it goes up. It's usually how that works. Yeah, let's see. You know, one of the other things we might be looking for is the VIX to break down first. I don't know. We'll see. Again, like I said, you have the market on the neutral to bear side. The volatility index, the fear is currently up. So generally speaking, for the markets to go into a long, you will need the fear index to break down, and you would need the market to break out, neither of which have happened. So we're still on the neutral to bear side for the basically United States stock market. when that changes, maybe the market will do something more fun, but you know. But yeah, this is everything you should expect. You should expect the market's just kind of a little bit lame right now. Again, it's in a neutral to bearish state. In theory, the market's not supposed to be going up right now. So, the fact that it's not going up is not surprising. It makes perfect sense. This is what the market's theoretically supposed to be doing. Okay, this is cool. This is still fun. This is still a lot of fun. Just sitting here doing a whole lot of nothing. Still a good time. See, pretty much what's going on is this right here. Oh, wrong thing, but close. See, when we look at every market, right? If you look at the markets right now, you have the volatility index is currently over the 50 SMA, so there's a little elevated fear in the this morning. If you look at VVIX, there's still some hedging of volatility going on. That's what we talked about Friday. On Friday, we said, hey guys, we're not really supposed to be going long the top of this market because there's people that are starting to hedge for tailwind risk in the market. Now we open up, it's Tuesday, the market's gone down. Right, so think about that too. If you think about Friday, remember Friday when we said, well, don't worry about it. Don't remember anything. Just know on Friday when the market was trading here, we said, hey guys, you can see that somebody is hedging for downside risk in the market, so we probably shouldn't look to be getting extremely long this market here. So on Friday, we had said, hey guys, look at somebody's hedging for downside risk. And then sure enough, here we are. Bam. Right, and that all came from reading the hedging of volatility. But anyway, so when the market was trading at highs on Friday morning, you could have pretty much got the idea that there might be a pullback coming into the market due to increased hedging of volatility. It is now Tuesday. And the snapshot of the market on Tuesday is that the S&P 500 is currently trading below the levels that, well, yeah, it's Tuesday. Largest globally traded stock market in the world is not positive. It's neutral to bearish. The largest volatility markets that also help us understand the largest globally traded ETF in the world, S&P, those are currently positive. So when we look at the quick snapshot or the quick children's book of the stock market today, the children's book reads that the market is currently neutral to bearish. Not like we haven't already known that, but that's what it is. You have volatility markets on the upside, and you have the stock markets on the neutral to bearish side. Generally speaking, when that's the case, the markets aren't going to be going up. We will need something to change. What will we need to change for the market to go up? Volatility markets going down or markets going up? So So pretty much, yeah, everything we've already said. Market's neutral to bearish. You will know when to go back long the market when the system says to do so, or until this stream says to do so. It's pretty straightforward. Again, guys, we have a very simple stream because it's the same exact strategy every single day, repeated the same thing over and over and over, using the same exact tools over and over and over until we all die. Whoa. Oh my gosh, the stock market's going down. Who would have thought? I thought that the market, what? I thought it was supposed to go up. What? No. Why would it be going up? It's not. What? Yeah, no, because it's neutral to bearish. Again, volatility markets are on the upside. The largest globally traded stock market in the world is on the neutral to bearish side. It's not currently supposed to be going up. Unless, well, it's not entirely true, but you know. So, you know, like we were just said a million times, we're pretty much just waiting for the market to go back to positive, and then we will be back looking for a long magoo on the market. Yay. Interesting. On that note, I'll be back. Do remember, too, that the counter kind of long targets are going to be like 66822 to 68880. So essentially, if you see the market shoot up to pretty much where those arrows are pointing, that's also to be expected. All right, just keep that in mind. All right, so check this out. So you see how the market went up a little bit there, and as a result, you can see here with the VVIX, the VVIX is now down to that 50 SMA. If the VVIX are to or was to is to break down 8520, that could also help add some long bias fuel to the market. Because essentially, if VVIX does not start holding support here, that means people are kind of removing the hedging of volatility, etc. So basically, what I'm saying is if we see VVIX start to go below the 50 SMA, it's going to help the market go up here. So. So yeah, that's pretty much that. We have a very busy day here in today's stream. Big three, the big three peoples. But, you know, I still think it's more fun being here with three of you guys than anywhere else, I think. Again, nowhere else to be, literally. I guess I could be moving stuff to another house, but that can wait, right? That's good. So you see how the market has pretty much gone directly to where those arrows are pointed to. Remember, because the market is in a neutral to bearish state below those levels. And if it doesn't want to be bearish below, then it has to reverse and go back to then above, etc. So if we were to bring up the SPY and go to the regular trading hours 30-minute, ready? So I'll just delete all this. See, look at where the market, oh, it just broke through, but that's fine. So look at, ready? So see how the SMA is right there? That's why we would put this price point right there. And then when you go back to your extended trading hours, that's where that's at, etc. So, yeah. So that's trading view, but if you go look at, over here on Thinkorswim, see, this is why it's important to use multiple platforms, because if you look at Thinkorswim, you'll see that the market is just now coming to the 50 SMA. So we would read today's market on Thinkorswim as this entire long press is simply just a, that's a 15-minute. It's simply just a back test. All right, so if we bring this up, you can see that the 30-minute trend, 50 SMA, it's all right about there. So just in general, we would just look at today's market like this, is that for the market to get back to positive, it needs to be above, so it'd have to be like this. But either way, stuff to think about. So I put a little bit back on long the market as the market is kind of shooting back up here because I just assume it's going to. Again, like I said earlier, when the market is in a neutral to bearish state and it's not going down, it's obviously then going to go back up to its 50 SMA levels. And then if we can break over the 50 SMAs, then the market goes back to swing long, etc. So I put a little bit back on long UPRO in the assumption that it was going to A, go back to the 50 SMAs, and then B, hopefully now it breaks over them and then we can establish and hold, and then maybe the end of the week turns into a long. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, excuse me. I mean, yeah, the 50 exponential moving average is just weighted a little bit more strongly than that of a simple moving average. I don't even use a 50 exponential moving average, so, you know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just whatever you really want to use, right? From my understanding, computers use simple moving averages far more than that of exponential moving averages. So in my opinion, over the years, I've come to think that simple moving averages in theory are better because I just know that they're more used in computer programming than exponential moving averages. So remember, right? The market is still below. It's still not positive, right? If you go look at, let's go to a 10-day, 30-minute chart. Where is it at? Here you go. 10-day, 30. So you got, I mean, it's clear as day, is it not? It's right there, right, for the whole world to see. All right, so you can see when was the market positive back here, then the market goes long, right? And then the market breaks down to the 50 SMA. It breaks below the 50 and then back tests and then goes lower. And then this morning, whatever, etc., into today is really just a back test of the 50 SMA. Unless the market is actually over the 50 SMA, the market is not positive. Right? So even my dip buy, right? My dip buy was because number one, I figured it would just go up to back test, which it did. Now I'm on the hope. Well, not hope, that would be. Now we're on the hope it goes over the 50 SMA so the market can actually build into a long. Without it going over the 50 SMA, it basically runs the risk of just still going down, right? So there's that. Dude, I'm starting to look like an old man. Oh, gosh. Gosh, you know the best part about our YouTube stream is it's just never wrong. We're never wrong about the market and its direction. That's the best part. That's the best part about the system, folks, is it's always correct. Always. Do 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 do. Oh, man. If we keep this up, we're going to be retiring here pretty soon, you know? I mean, I won't be able to stick around here on YouTube for forever just giving all the goodies, you know? Gonna have to retire by age 33. That'd be nice. Who am I kidding? I'm not retiring. Nope. Have some spring chickens here pretty soon. Sure enough, I'll be busy as can be. Oh, what a boring market. I mean, but what did you expect was going to happen? You thought the market was just going to be just ripping faces off into a long bias trending move while being in a neutral to bearish environment? Psh, who would have thought? Well, it's been a fun stream. I can't see us doing a whole lot more than this, so since we've already pretty much mapped off everything you need to know about the stock market for the moment, yeah, we'll just catch you back tomorrow. And we will go back more long bias once the market establishes over $688 and about 83 cents for right now. So if that happens, feel free, buy some long. If it doesn't, then just wait, because that's all you need to do. Cheers, have a good one. See you back in the morning.